What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the Giants franchise here on MLB The Show 21 on Next Gen. In today's video, we're going to be advancing up through the All-Star game and through the month of July. We'll see if anything happens trade-wise or anything, but I'll bring you guys in for all the important steps, let you guys know hopefully who makes the All-Star game for us, and then we'll be heading off to try to make our playoff push at the end of the season. So I wanted to bring you guys back in here. We ended up winning these two games against Chicago. We won and swept this series against Cincinnati, and then we took 3 of 4 against Milwaukee. Now, the unfortunate thing that happened here, and actually what plays very nicely into the fact that the All-Star break is coming up, and we made those moves to add additional pitchers to our roster in Mitch Keller and Michael Kopech, guys that can both be in the starting rotation, is that we had the injury, unfortunately, of Logan Webb. Logan Webb pulled his shoulder, so he'll be out. It said 1 to 2 weeks, so we'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully by the time the All-Star break is done, he'll be back, and this really won't be an issue. But very nice to see that we are going to have the opportunity to maybe rotate Mitch Keller or Michael Kopech into the starting rotation for a game or so. Additionally, Buster Posey, who has been playing really well for this team this year, came down with an injury. He's batting .295 up till this point, and has had quite a few at-bats, 207 at-bats. He's been playing really well for us. His overall keeps going down because of his age, but he's been an absolute player for us, and unfortunately, he's going down for 1 to 6 days. That's not the end of the world, but it's looking like this All-Star break couldn't come at a better time for us in terms of the injuries that are happening to some of our best performers at the moment. The participants for this year's Home Run Derby are going to be Pete Alonso, Joey Gallo, Rafael Devers, Freddie Freeman, Alex Dickerson, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger, and Franmil Reyes. So, unfortunately, we still don't have that power player that is able to participate in the Home Run Derby. Maybe one of these days we'll get somebody that can develop into that. Leading up to the All-Star game, we took 2 out of 3 games against the San Diego Padres and then 2 out of 3 against the Rockies. So good, strong performance for us going into the All-Star break here. From a standings perspective, we put ourselves at 59-32 with a very comfortable lead over the Dodgers. The Dodgers having a bit of a slip at the moment, but they still are obviously at a great position. The Diamondbacks have kind of put up a fight. They're at 51-40. And then the Rockies are hanging around as well at 50-43. Those 3 teams have kind of bounced up and down between each other. So I think that we put ourselves in a really good position, and our team seems to be playing really well following our moves. All right, so interesting players here that have made the All-Star game for us. So Tyler Beede has made the All-Star game in the starting pitcher rotation, so that's a good one. I think that he has now done that 2 seasons in a row for us, if I'm not mistaken. So very, very good performances for him, and he just continues to get better. You can see his progression over his career from an 8 to a 5 to a 4 to a 2.76 and a 2.34 ERA. This guy is becoming elite, and I'm really, really happy about it. He is 28 years old, so he still has room to grow, and he is playing lights out for this team. Another interesting one here that made it is Michael Kopech, and I don't really know in what way he made it. I mean, I guess just as a regular relief pitcher. He had a really good performance this season. Obviously, we gave up a bit to trade for him with a 2.09 ERA out of the bullpen, and he did also win 6 games, 3 losses. He had a save on his hands, and I think that this is a guy that looks to be a really nice addition for us, and he did make the All-Star game. And then last but not least, this one should come as no surprise. Caleb Berriger comes in as the closing pitcher, one of the closing pitchers elected to the All-Star game here. So a very, very good look for our team, getting 3 pitchers in the All-Star rotation. And then we did not have anybody from a position perspective that actually made the All-Star game, so I was a little bit bummed to see that, but not totally surprised. I would have thought somebody like a Buster Posey, but I mean, he's injured, or maybe some of the other players that we had that were playing really well this season, like a Joey Bart, he has come onto the scene and played great. I was expecting to see maybe at least one person in there from that perspective, but unfortunately we did not. And the NL ended up defeating the AL in this year's All-Star game. So with that being said and done in the All-Star break, before we head out to the end of the month, I did want to recap some of the important performances of our team so far that I've mentioned but not necessarily dived into. So from a starting pitching rotation, there's quite a lot to be happy about here. Logan Webb, Tyler Beede, Jojo Romero, all with ERAs below a 3. And then we have Connor Menez with a 3.43 ERA and Sean Jelly getting close to getting his ERA below a 4. So not anything I can complain about there, but one thing I am very excited to see is that Seth Corey has a 3.18 ERA, and he's looking like he might be primed and ready to help this team out in a very short order. So definitely looking out at that and definitely keeping a close eye on his performance as we move forward. Wanted to call attention to Jose Alvarado, who was a huge pickup for us, whose ERA has even gone further to the best direction with a 1.7 ERA to this point. He has been playing some relief role, some setup role, some closing role, and taking a little bit of that responsibility on, and he has been doing a fantastic job of it. Then also want to highlight Ryan Webb, who is a first-year MLB player for us. He's a rookie, and he has been doing really well for us. He actually has 4 wins on the season. He has a very good ERA at a 2.34, and I think that he looks like he's going to be a really good relief pitcher for us for a long time. And then the final one here from a bullpen area is Mitch Keller, who has improved upon his ERA, getting his ERA to a 5.7. It was above 6 whenever we acquired him, so maybe a little indication that things are moving in the right direction for this guy. And then this is what I was talking about in terms of performance with our catchers here. So Joey Bart and Buster Posey have both been getting a ton of playing time. Joey Bart is actually up to an 84 overall, batting .280 on the season. Now, there was a point leading up to the All-Star game that he was like close to 300, and him and Buster Posey were both close to, if not over, batting 300. These guys have been playing really well. I would really like to see more of that power out of Joey Bart. He has some decent power, but he's only got 9 home runs. Buster Posey, with much less power, has been hitting more home runs than him, but this is like a really great duo at catcher, and I'm really excited about it. I definitely wanted to highlight Jacob Gonzalez again as well. This is a guy that's kind of been a rock for us, and he's only 23 years old. He's only going to get better and better. He's batting .297. He's up to an 80 overall, and his other stats are great too. I mean, he adds stats in pretty much every category, and he's athletic, so really liking what Jacob Gonzalez has been able to do over there at third base. Unfortunately, Marco Luciano is not anything necessarily to note. He's not struggling at the moment. He's actually picked his performance up a little bit. He's now up to a 227 average. He adds value from a defensive side, and he adds value, on the base path and things like that. So it's really just a matter of bringing his bat along. He is still only 20 years old, so we can't fault him too much for having a little bit of struggle with the bat. And then this is where things get interesting in the outfield. So Elliot Ramos, he's up to a 79 overall. He's batting .320 in his time up here at the major leagues. So we did finally bring him up, and he's playing really well. And this is a really well-rounded player. You guys can see that up there on his stats circle. So really good performance out of him. But the one thing that I'll note is that Joe Adell, in his minor amount of appearances so far since being called up, has been playing pretty poorly. Now, I just need to figure out ways that we can maybe get him involved. This is very similar to when he was called up in real life for the Angels. He did absolutely nothing. He was terrible with the bat. So we need to work on some things with him, but overall the team is doing enough to compensate for that. Steven Duggar has been playing, unfortunately, a little bit poorly. A guy that I thought would have quite a bit more potential than he has shown this season, especially after a really good season last season. We moved him back to center field to kind of help cover for Joe Adell, and then you guys will notice that Mauricio Dubon was not in left field. We moved him to right field, because I think that he just kind of fits this better. I think that from a perspective of wanting to have your best arm in right field, Mauricio Dubon fits that bill, and so he's bumped over. Ramos, I think, will develop into a very nice left fielder, so confident in what we're doing out there. Mauricio Dubon is up to A potential. He's up to an 86 overall. His bat is a little bit down right now at 258 for him, but that's still not bad. And then the final player here to highlight is we did call up Franklin Labor, and he's been pretty solid in his time in the major leagues, batting 252. It looks like we are actually going to get some trade offers here finally at the end of the month. I don't know that it's going to be anything worthwhile. Yeah, you guys can see here the Mets are trying to send us Brandon Belt, who used to be on this team and is still holding true at about a 79 overall, but for Steven Duggar, I don't think that's really going to get it done. Not really any incentive to make a move like that. That's kind of a lateral move in my opinion. I know Brandon Belt has had some success, but see, his batting average has been going down, so not a fan of that move. We'll go ahead and decline it and see if we can't get any other offers coming in on the last day of the month here. Oh, wait, no, we have 2 days here at the end of July. So, unfortunately, we took 2 losses against Arizona here. So, we swept Arizona the first time. We took 1 out of 2 against the Angels, and now we're losing 2 against Arizona. Hopefully, we don't get swept. I would say it's actually pretty likely considering the way this has gone. We're going to get an offer from the Yankees. They're offering us Mike Ford, first baseman. Not really a lot of interest in him for Nick Gordon, who is a minor league shortstop for us, 26-year-old that's actually been playing really well, 300 batting average right now. We'll go ahead and skip out on that one, and let's finish the month of July off. Today is the deadline. Would I like to stop simulating? No. We do have a final offer, and it's going to be Ronald Guzman, first baseman, 74 overall, B potential. Got a little bit of power, pretty good defender. Not really better than what we already have at first base, and that's trading Steven Duggar in return. So unfortunately, not much to note here at the end of the trade deadline and at the end of the month. So I'm going to decline that, and I'm pretty happy, to be honest with you, with where this team stands heading into the rest of the season. So let's go ahead and look at the standings. We are at 64 and 36. The Dodgers are at 61 and 38. So they are 2.5 games back of us. It's going to be close the whole way, I think. It's going to be close the rest of the season. So, it's exciting to see what's going to happen here. But you guys got to see some nice trades. I am really happy about the trades that we were able to put through and bolster this team. So I think things are going in a very good direction for us. I'm excited and, can't wait to get on to the next episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this update and this pushing through the trade deadline and everything and seeing what was going on. I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully with some gameplay and whatnot. And make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below. I'll see you in the next one.